closing shop on what I know and who I was, my identity. I woke up on March 20th of 2020. I was dreaming this dream. It was probably the loudest download I have ever had in my life. Go get your healers together and let's put some self-healing tools in people's hands in a book. That thing that you might still be a little afraid to share is exactly what somebody needs to hear to change or maybe even save their life. 48 hours after I made the invitation, 24 people said, yeah, I'll help you out. And 5 weeks after that, it was a #1 Amazon best-selling book. Books are legacy work. So your legacy in our books matters to me. Yours is mine. It's such a big ripple. Every day I get goosebumps about that part alone.
If you are building something, whether it is a business, a movement, a dream that keeps you up at night, then you're going to want to stick around because I have got a conversation that you are not going to want to miss. I am going to get you an answer to a rarely asked question of visionary entrepreneurs, and that answer might just change how you show up tomorrow. I am here with Laura DeFranco. She is the CEO of Brave Healer Productions Publishing, and 10 years ago, she started this company. But in 2020, everything shifted when she published the first volume of The Ultimate Guide to Self-Healing and began bringing collaborative authors together. Today, she has published over 100 books. She has built incredible communities of healers and helpers, and Volume 6 just dropped. We're going to talk about the book later, but first, let me introduce you to the powerful woman behind this empire, somebody who believes in showing up, in trusting the magic of life, and doing the work even when it's hard. Laura, welcome and happy anniversary.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Shari, you're like going to make me cry already. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm super happy to be here with you today.
Laura, you deserve that and so much more. It was so hard to wrap you up in just a little intro because you really are the queen, I'm just going to say, of badassery. You're the queen of bravery. You're the queen of communities. And I am so excited to have this celebration with you and to be the one to do it with you. So what I want to do first is I want to be able to take everybody back to the early days. All right. It's 10 years ago. Yeah, we were all younger. That's at least what I was thinking. What did it actually look like when you were starting Brave Healer Productions?
Oh my gosh. I was telling everybody that I wanted to transition to this new thing. And I had been a physical therapist with a private cash practice working in my home. I did physical therapy for 30 years and I ran my own business for many years. But Brave Healer Productions was this business #2. And I had two things going on for about 5 years. And I would have said, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I couldn't do it. I was too afraid to let go of the bread and butter, even though I felt the passion of it. So it looked like me going a little crazy, trying to do two things. You know, you can't do that. It pulls you apart. Everyone knows, but it's so hard to leap and have the trust and faith. COVID did it for me. So that is a small blessing of that time. And I woke up sort of after about a week of panic. Mm-hmm. And decided not to reopen my PT practice.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a moment, because I know there's a lot of people watching that have, as I mentioned, that dream and that movement. Like, what was that thing, if you could pinpoint that for you was that one fear that you had to move through? How did you move through it? How did you say, I'm closing up shop on what I know, to now pursue this thing that is obviously tapping you or banging you over the head?
Closing shop on what I know and who I was. So my identity wrapped up in myself, in the role of healer, in the role of physical therapist, helping people, assessing those situations, and really doing all that good for people. Man, that was a transition, because I basically had to say, are you going to really just go ahead and push all of that aside, all of that training,
Mm.
all of the years and the dollars and you name it, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, so I don't know, it's really hard to say how I finally did it, but I do have a story about this. And I think this is really what happened.
Mhm.
I woke up on March 20th of 2020. It was about a week after all the things happened. And I was dreaming this dream. And the dream, the message, it was probably the loudest download I have ever had in my life. Laura, go get your healers together and let's put some self-healing tools in people's hands in a book, right?
Mm.
So I got out of my bed, walked in my pajamas to the laptop, opened it up, and I was teaching a class in a little Facebook group. So I went in there and I made the invitation. Who would like to join me? Write a chapter. Let's put self healing tools into people's hands at home. Let's do this. Let's help people. And 48 hours after I made the invitation, 24 people said, yeah, I'll help you out. And 5 weeks after that, 5 weeks, it was a number one Amazon best-selling book in all the categories and all the, all those things. And I was sitting there going, oh, okay, thanks, universe. Thanks for that little like shove off the cliff of doubt. And I think that moment sort of
Yeah.
solidified the whole deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say that had to have. That was like a stamp, like this is meant to be. I mean, 5 weeks, having done a book with you, I know the process and what it takes just to have built a community that I did. And the fact that you have done over 100 books. And is it thousands of authors now, would you say?
Yes, probably close to 3,000 authors. And I counted the other day over 25 countries around the globe.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
was fun to count up the number of countries. I get a visual of the globe and
Yeah.
all the little red stars all over the globe. And now I'm like, yes, okay, look at this. And, I'm proud of her for like not having a freak out moment and totally going in the other direction. Proud of her, me.
Yes,
Like
100%.
I could have had a freak out moment and just been like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like, stop that, but I trusted and went for it.
So there is where it is. It's trust in yourself. It had to have been trust in yourself that you built this prior business, and then now to be able to step up or trust in yourself just that you can do that. And the reason why I'm zoning in on that is because, there are a lot of people that have dreams and they have visions and they want to do the things, but they don't take the step. And you have taken the step over and over and over again. And you continue to, and now you've built this empire of yours, of course, called Brave Healer Productions Publishing. There's a story in that. Let's talk about the word brave and what that means to you.
Yeah. Wow. Um, you said it in I do it over and over again. Like you guys, I have fear every day about what I'm doing and everything. But I think, you feel the feeling in your body, whatever that feels like to you. I feel it kind of in my chest, a little heart space gets a little tight sometimes. And I just move, I breathe and take the action. And being brave for me is really about being vulnerable. And we trailblaze vulnerable storytelling around here. And I'm helping people stand tall inside of their own worthiness and share their stories. That is brave. I have done it in my own books. I feel brave to share those stories. But, we're all worried about things, and some of those fears I think I call purpose driven for a reason, because you're out there wanting to do big things. It's not like you're afraid of being able to provide for yourself. And if you are, that's survival fear, and that's like you got to take care of business. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're out there and you're doing it and you're having all the different doubts and fears and, oh my God, is this going to be good enough? Am I going to be okay? No, like you need to move. And so it's a muscle. And just like in my physical therapy, you also have to train your brave muscle. And that is, I feel the feeling. What am I going to do about it? Am I going to take an action today? And then if it was me, I'd be taking an action.
Yeah. And you have, without you, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but you have inspired me to take action before. And I have watched you over the years talk about fear being boring and really stepping up and stepping forward. And I think what is amazing about, which we're going to get into shortly, about communities that you have built, but what is amazing about them is that so many of them are healers who really put ourselves out there as the ones who know how to help. And yet you have challenged them and they have risen to that challenge to be vulnerable, as you said, to be brave enough to share their most personal stories, because your books aren't just about a tool or just about a story. It is a combination of both. Can you talk about the setup of your books, and let's go back to that first volume of yours and what that groundwork was for your future books?
Well, I knew I had experts in my community, and I had been building those experts. We had been doing courses in writing and speaking for the years prior to that magical morning I shared, right?
Yeah.
So I had already been building the community and helping them share and write different things, do blogs, speak on stages, and it's like, what is your story? What are you sharing, you know? And when the idea for the book came, it was stories, of course, because stories heal. Story are us sharing our story, being brave and sharing our brave words with the world in a bigger way that heals two ways: ourselves and anybody reading who might have needed to hear that story in exactly the way that person shared it. But the expert part was important to me. My friends are amazing practitioners. They are professionals from all walks of life teaching very powerful holistic modalities. They coach, they treat, they do all of these things every day, and they are experts in their field. And what I knew for sure is I wanted them to teach my friends in the book. And of course, COVID related, we all lost our hands-on people. We couldn't go out and do the normal things that we do, couldn't go to yoga class for a while, couldn't go to our, breath work
Yeah.
classes or have our one-on-one practitioners. So I challenged them and I said, if you were going to teach a practical experience here for your reader, how would you do it? And let's go for it. And so I got so much positive feedback about that structure from our books over the years that that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But it was really important to me because one of the missions around here is to support the thriving business behind each of our experts. And for them to be able to teach in the book was part of that.
And it's such a powerful combination, as you said. Like for me, someone who loves storytelling, but I also want to walk away with something practical that I could actually do. And while I was publishing the book with you, the tools, the sparks, that, as I call them, actually, I was going through grief and they were helping me in my own grief. And so I saw in real time and real action how this was changing my lives. And I know for all of your readers, for 10 years that it is doing that. But you're so much more, Laura. You are so much more than only publishing. The power in what you do is that you bring people together and you help, as you said, build businesses, you help with mindset. I don't want to say what you do. Share with me what your communities look like. I've been part of them, so I know, but I let me know how that whole thing built, because you could have just put their words out there. You could have done it and been done. And I've been in collaborations like that, but yours is different. Share with me.
It's so I'm just chuckling because sometimes I wake up and I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. What am I doing today? What are we doing for people?
Welcome to life.
Community building is the biggest. And thank you to you if you're listening and you're part of this Brave Healer community, because you are my reason every day. You are it. And what I knew about books was we weren't going to just put a book out. We were going to create family around the topic. We were going to create a community of experts for our readers. We're going to create something much, much bigger than, hey, your book is published. And so when that gets done, and it is very exciting, that part of things is this is legacy work. Books are legacy work. So your legacy in our books matters to me. Yours is mine. It's such a big ripple. Every day I get goosebumps about that part alone. But what I knew from doing my own projects, being in other collaborations, and doing a thing or two in publishing was that I needed so much more after the book was published.
Mm.
I needed friends to talk to. I needed business strategy. I needed, how do I speak about my book? What about all the things that the book is supposed to be doing for me? It doesn't end on publishing day. So I created the community. We have networking. We have guest experts coming in. We have programs you can join to come play in the sandbox with other authors and do different things. And maybe you're ready to write your solo book and you want a place, right? I wanted to be the place where we could come together and do this life and business building together well after book publishing.
And as you're talking, like I had the goosebumps because you can feel, and being part of your community, you can feel your care. You could feel your passion for us and wanting to bring us together. And to be totally honest, like I think sometimes, how does she do that? Like, because you have, as you said, 3,000 authors, and it is not an easy task to show up with passion the way that you do and to make everybody feel that you care about them. And I don't think it's a trick or sorcery or anything. I think it's because of that you actually do. When was that for you that you realized, that community is a core value for you?
That's a great question. I
That's why
do
they pay me the
care.
big bucks.
Yeah. I mean, I do care. And I think it's part of me, in the way that mm, I could go back a little bit to an awareness practice. I could go back to some training. When you become a healthcare professional, there's a lot of different kind of training, but I went alternative holistic very early on in my PT career. And I am still so glad I did that, because awareness is everything, first of all. And with awareness, I get to respond to every moment of my life.
Mm,
That's a huge gift, to be present in the moment and choose. And you and I have talked about choosing joy
yes.
over and over, but also, are we choosing acceptance and compassion and empathy and love and gratitude? Are we choosing with each other to care? And it just feels better that way, and it helps you have hope for humanity. Like, okay, I know I'm not the only one who cares. Maybe I can grab my friends and we can figure out how to make this a much bigger playground of caring, right? So thank you for saying that, because I do care, and it's why I do what I do every day. It is not a super easy thing that I do every day. We're working on a project right now that is about visionary entrepreneurs. And the question is, how do we wake up every single morning and not quit? How do we do it over and over and over? Because my days aren't all super easy and great. There's problems that come up. There's lessons that I have learned. There's things that come into my world, and I have to just take the breath, and I have to believe in the things I say out loud.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. There's a lesson in this. Relax, don't stress out. It's all for you. We say these things to each other all day long, but are we in the practice of it? I try. I try every day. And I think that's the answer to that.
I think that we need to talk about that again because and the reason why I say that is because that is the mindset of success. That is what is going to have someone be 10 years into their business through all of the fears, through all of the challenges and the struggles and all of the things. is the tools that you choose to say to yourself and to do over and over and over again. And I know for someone that's listening, that is gold right there. Is there a specific, like, I know you believe in, we've talked about this law of attraction and the magic of life and all of that. Like, is there one that really stands out for you? Because I know you talk about it publicly. You've had hard days. You've had the mindset that wants to focus on, maybe like we all do as humans, the hard stuff. What is that for you? I know there's a big toolbox, but
Mm.
would you say that someone that is listening right now who wants to quit right now, loves what they do, but is just having a hard one?
So there have been a couple of years of my life that I would that win the award for worst year. And I remember there are two in my life. And the first worst, I went over to YouTube and I popped Esther Hicks on, and I let her redirect me. And I did it over and over again, and I just told myself, you're feeling this way, but you don't need to be feeling this way. So it's your choice, preaching to myself, awareness, Laura, awareness. What do you want to do? How do you want to shift? How do you want to pivot? Okay, I need help. I'm just going to go put my earphones on and I'm going to listen in and I'm going to see if somebody else can help me pivot. Now, sometimes that works, right? And sometimes it does not work. It worked for me enough that year, but I want to back up to say that the important part of this whole thing, no matter what tool you use, is the pause. It's the moment you realize you've got the ruminating mind. It's negative. It's worse than negative. You've been stuck. I call it the pit. I get stuck in the pit. It's very deep and it's muddy down there. And when I open my eyes and realize I'm there, I win.
Mm.
And that's if I could give people the ninja moves of mindset and awareness to help them there faster, we'd all be winning. Because when the second you realize, oh yeah, so if I believe in, if with awareness you have the choice, I am now aware and I now have a choice. And some people just get stuck in this place and they talk themselves out of having a choice, but I really believe that we always have the choice. So it sounds kind of boring to say awareness is the tool.
Are you kidding?
It's just and I call them ninja moves on purpose. This takes practice over and over again. Yeah.
Laura, there
Mhm.
there was nothing simple about that. Well, actually, simplicity is the power, and it's always easier than we think in terms of how we get to that next step. And as you said that, I got lit up inside because that was the turning point for me on my own journey, was the awareness of what I was doing, that I was stuck in that I wasn't like, once you have that, then you said you have the choice. And it is powerful. And you just gave like a nugget that is in platinum and whatever else is everything, honestly.
There's
Um,
so many tools
yeah.
and I use them all in case you're curious. I will go for a walk in the woods. I will put on my headphones with sound healing. I will do breath work. I will clean the house. Oh my gosh, don't get me started on feng shui, Shari. Don't get me started because it will go for like another hour on what I do when I do my house cleaning. It is powerful magic. So yeah, there's a lot of tools.
It's so funny. I purposely left off talking about that because I was like, that's a whole other conversation.
See, I can't help myself. Like I have to bring it up. It's so amazing.
I
Yeah.
love that. You are filled with all of it. And I think that this is the magic that comes together when people are part of the Brave Healer community. And I can't go any longer without talking about your newest book, Volume 6, The Ultimate Guide to Self-Healing. Let's talk about that. First, congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Yeah. What
Volume 6.
inspired this particular volume, and why now?
Well, now because it's the 10-year anniversary of the company, now because I hadn't gotten my healers together for this particular volume since volume 5, and it had been a while. I'll have to look at the year that we did that one. There's been a little bit of a space with this. and a little bit because I'm kind of competitive. And one of my other leaders was like on her volume 7. I'm like, darn it. Like, I'm going to have to go for my volume 6 because, it's mine. And I am, so I've been a competitive athlete like my whole life. So that
Yeah.
little competitiveness in me got me this time. But this topic just really doesn't go away. There is a need for our stories, and there's a need for tools. And if you even taught a tool in 10 different ways, if 10 different people taught the tool, same tool, I would need her version, and my friend would need this version. And so we might have different kinds of chapters over the volumes in a topic: breath work, meditation. There's so many different ways to do it. But this is what I want my authors to know. Everything has been written about before, but not by you.
Mm.
And so the way you teach it, the way you come to the table and present it, is going to be the life-changing moment for someone who's even done that modality before. And that's why I want all of my authors to know your voice matters, your unique way. This is what matters, right? So it was time for this next volume, and I'm really, really excited about all of the people that joined me and grabbed my hand for this one.
Yeah, and it's interesting as you were talking about, everybody's unique voices. Again, witness to it that we had a few people, including myself, talking about the tool or the spark presence, and yet the stories and the ways that we talked about it, that particular tool were totally different, resonated with certain people. And what you do as opposed to traditional publishing models, or even, ones that are similar but nothing like you, is that you don't just publish their words. You did exactly what you just did, which is inspire us to remember that what we have to share is important and the world needs it. And so I just want to say, for anybody that has ever thought I might have something to share, or I've always wanted to, that this is the community that you will bring out the best. You're not just publishing our words, but you're helping us write too.
Definitely, the writing is probably my favorite part. And, people who are maybe too busy, they want to go hire a ghostwriter to do it for them. That this isn't really that. These projects are helping you become a better communicator and a better writer in a way that you are proud of your own work and want to do more of that. And yes, again, this is probably another topic like the writing topic. I want everybody to be the best ever writer. And I had some cool teachers and mentors in this game. And another mission of mine is to pay forward all of the things that I've learned in this writing game and just the magic of life. So yes, the writing piece is part of the program. It's part of the
Yeah.
coaching. Yeah.
That's unique, and you say it so casually, like, yeah, like, I mean, honestly, you up-leveled my writing. I
Mm.
just thought that what I did was good enough. People had told me on previous books, like, "Oh, you" right, but you up-leveled it for me in a way that I was like, "Ah, that's good. That's good," So it's just such a great opportunity to be with you, and this particular group of authors of volume 6 that we are celebrating. First, share with me what makes this book. I know this book was set up a little bit different. Can you share about the uniqueness of that?
How did we set this one up differently? Well, sometimes when I get chapters in, I see themes coming in. And this is so cool because the universe has its way, and not every collaboration is the same. But for this one, it came in under headings. And I was looking at everybody's chapters and I'm like, ooh, that's really about awareness. Yay, because awareness turns me on. We talked about it, right? I'm like, awareness is the first thing. So, section 1, awareness, right? And then another theme in this book, which, oh my gosh, is a hot topic, is nervous system regulation. And so I saw some of my authors really wanting to talk about nervous system regulation. I was like a heavy nod yes to that. Grief and understanding the different ways that we're dealing with grief, body, mind, soul, spirit, all the things. So for this book, the themes came in and I'm like, all right, there's going to be parts in this book so people can open up the table of contents and they can find themselves a chapter that really means something to them.
I love that. I love that setup because there's always a different moment in our lives that we need something. So to have that categorized like that. And I did notice how awareness was first, which I was like,
I mean,
I love
it has
that.
to be first. And you guys, the design of our books has improved. It's gotten more intensely amazing, and we've really kind of crafted this volume at other levels. The interior design, I can get to shout out my gal Kelly Kashula for that. And she helps us make this just another kind of experience than a black and white words on the page. And I love, this is art too, you
Yeah.
know
I felt that.
yeah.
I honestly, Laura, like when I was reading it, it had a whole other level feeling to it through the art, even the font, like everything about it. I was like, this is pretty, like it gave me that feeling of wanting to even to turn the page again. And I honestly mean that. There was something really special and energy in that was amazing. I what would you want if your authors, I'm certain, are listening to this? Is there something that you want to say to them?
I want to say something about that energy and how we do publishing because of who you guys are and the responsibility you're taking for your own energy. And we'll coach you there, but you all know it. It's like we're preaching to the choir. Hey, how do you want your reader to feel? Shari, you were just talking about the way you're feeling, literally looking at the book,
Mhm.
and that matters. And so this community, you all are so amazing, and you step up and take responsibility for that energy, your own vibration, which is the key when you're going to help somebody. So sometimes people don't realize that happens in a book page also. And so I am gathering with this freaking amazing community who is all saying, yes, I get it. I want this to be a conscious process. And I'm going to get the vibe going in my own body mind. And then I'm going to write with that in mind. And I'm going to keep myself there, even on the day where I'm getting a little writer's block. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't know. And that's what we're doing together. So that's the feel that you're getting on the other end of things. And I think that's so important. And my authors, you guys, I love you so much. You are amazing. To the entire community of authors that has come in for our projects, I just am so grateful for you all. You get it. You get the mission. You get the movement. Yeah, and I love
Yeah,
you.
well, I mean, law of attraction, you are
Mm.
attracting amazing people with amazing wisdom. And the thing that I love that you've created is you do it right in your coaching sessions, like just all of this good juju, spiritual energy, light. Like I've been in workshops of yours too, and you really understand how to set up people to be their most open channel so that they can download that. How, such a silly question, I'm going to say it anyway. How important is that part? Because there's a lot of people out there teaching success and the actual technical aspects, but there's a whole other juicy part that goes into that.
Well, it's really, yeah, it's everything. We have taught we've been taught that success has this roadmap and we have to do all the check marks. Yet we're halfway through and we can feel the tightness in our body, or we can feel the fear, or we can feel whatever we feel. Right. And I have this little card next to me. I wish I could show it to you, but it's over on the wall over there. It says, I measure success by how much fun I'm having. And gosh, life is short, y'all. Like, are you having fun yet?
Yeah.
And in all these things we do, I have to just body check myself again. I got to feel into my heart space. I have to feel into my gut a little bit, sometimes my back a little bit, my jaw. What is clenching? Mm-mm. Like, I'm not having fun if that's happening.
Mm,
Like, and I think, I don't even know if I'm answering the question, but I think it's important, the embodiment, but that's going to relate to your health, physical, mental, emotional, and then that's going to relate to what you're creating and what you're attracting. So success has to come with health and the wealth. And part of wealth is health, you
yes.
know. And so take care of yourselves, you guys, and practice letting go more. Push your to-do list aside and just have a moment to chill and meditate and breathe and receive. We're
Yeah.
so good at the to-do list, the success to-do list. We are not so good at the receiving mode, us crazy alien visionary entrepreneur people who go at 150 miles an hour all the time. Right? I'm speaking to myself right now. So, and you probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's self care,
Yeah. And I brought that up because I want people to really get the full picture of who they receive when they work with Brave Healer Productions Publishing. Like, what is that ecosystem, or, what is that world, that bubble that comes along with not only publishing your words, which is amazing, but I mean, you've built programs like, talk to me about this dream program
Oh
of
my
yours.
gosh. Thank you for that. And I
Yeah.
do have the show and tell of that book here with me.
Okay.
Write Your Dream Life. So Write Your Dream Life is a new solo book of mine, but it's also a program, the Write Your Dream Life Community and Manifestation Club. Don't you love that?
I
And
do.
I only create things I need and want. So it's like, I want a club. I want people to come practice with me. Let's talk about mindset. Let's talk about the tools and techniques of manifestation. What does that even mean? How is it going on in your head today? How are you doing with it? Are you taking time to receive? Oh my gosh, we've been talking about all kinds of tools and strategies. There's lots of ways to manifest your dream life, right? And so we've got a program this year where we meet almost weekly on Zoom and we have these discussions and practice together. It's been fun.
Yeah. Well, you could tell because you lit up when I asked that question. I know that everything that you're doing is about leaving a legacy and really helping people to step up in that next level and be what's coming to mind is their biggest, brightest, best version of themselves in all that they do. Something really fun that's happened recently with you is that your mom published her book. That is something like, talk about that. Is that something she ever imagined? Like, I love that.
Oh my gosh, my mom, who this year is 79 and published her first solo book. And she had come really across the country from West Coast to East Coast. And we've now been close again, literally, physically, for 4 or 5 years. And in those few years, she came and stepped up and wanted to write some children's stories. We have our Brave Kids books publishing imprint, and she got involved in that and started to really step into some passion that she had for some of the things she had done in the past, which were some mission trips to Cambodia for really working on protecting children, especially from trafficking. So, called to serve. She wrote alongside us in our Write Your Brave book program last year, and she was the first to finish and then publish with us. And just this
See where she got
past,
that competitive side from.
oh, maybe got it from her
Or
a
you
little
did.
bit. And I'm just so proud of her. And who would have thought that I would have been publishing my mom's book? Like, what? you know? So it's been quite a ride, quite a
Yeah.
ride.
Well, that's the power of what you're doing and leaving legacy behind. And now your mom has at 79 years old, her first solo book. Like, that is friggin' cool. Like that's really cool. And you mentioned you do it with children's books, you do business books. I mean, you're not a one stop, well, you are a one-stop shop, but you're not just a one niche.
Yeah, I mean, holistic health and wellness because of who I am and what my career was about, but Brave Business Books because there are practitioners doing business differently, holistically, mind, body, soul, spirit foundation. Those business professionals, I got you. Let's publish your book because you're not doing business as usual, and we need to get it out in a way that we've talked about today. And then, of course, Brave Kids Books. And another shout out to Kelly for being our director of Brave Kids Books. Fabulous solo books and short story collaborations. You all want to write for kids? Come on over. We're going to have fun with that. That's an award-winning series too. By the way, I can't go away without
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
our Brave Kids short story collection is an award-winning series. Like, I'm so proud of Kelly.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, let me ask you this. What is something that you would like to do that you haven't done yet? Whether it's a collaboration, what is that?
Oh my gosh. There are some books we still haven't published yet.
Mhm.
I want people to step up as the leader for some of these topics. They really, I think lately, what's been on my mind is how do we treat money in a way like it's our best ever lover?
Mm.
And if you all have money worries, and you feel like you haven't really been taught what you need to know to do this in a way that you don't have worry or doubt or fears about. I need someone to step up and do the money book, y'all. Like, let's talk about money love is the title of this one, money love. But then there's also this another idea for parents of special needs children.
Mm.
I would really love someone to step up and let's put a toolkit together for those parents who are dealing with those things on a daily basis. The I want these books to be inclusive. I want them to be the biggest variety of stories and people and tools we can get. If you have a topic that is about you, your brand, your message, your voice, and you want to grab some friends and say, hey, let's talk about this, right? Let's share our stories. I'm looking for you. Yeah, all the topics.
There's so much out there. Yeah, there's so much out there. I could see how you call yourself a crazy alien with 150 because I get it. I have like ideas for you. So if you're listening and you've ever wanted to, like Laura is the one, Brave Healer are the people, is the company you want to collab with. If you could go back and give your 2020 self one piece of advice before publishing that first collaborative volume.
So much advice I would give
Okay.
her.
Well, okay, here's a good question then. What would it be? But also, would you have listened?
Probably not. That's probably the better question because,
Right.
I mean, slow down would be the advice.
Yeah,
Take a
got it.
breath. You don't have to go at 150 miles an hour, but a lot was happening. And I think as an entrepreneur, you're afraid you want to catch it all.
Yeah.
You don't want to say no. And so you're moving at 150 miles an hour. But I think if I went back, I'd be like, girl, you're going to be fine. Take a breath. You can slow down a little bit and you can maybe spread out some of the project times and it doesn't have to be a rush. But man, back then, it felt like the universe was dropping this gift in my lap and I had to run with it. It's funny. You're making me think of a coach that I had one time. I was telling her about all the ideas going a million miles a minute and talking to our guides to ask for advice and help. She's like, you could ask them to slow it down. You could ask them to slow the train down a little bit. And then, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should do that. So I don't go very slow many days.
Yeah. Sounds like I need that same coach.
Telling you.
Yeah. But I think that speed at that time was exactly what we all needed because now we have over 100 publications from your heart and everybody's and their wisdom and tools. And there's so much more light and life in the world. And now it is up to those people who are sitting right here watching to listen to that calling and to step up and be brave right? If you
Yes.
can leave them with one message about bravery and healing, what would it be?
Well, that thing that you might still be a little afraid to share is exactly what somebody needs to hear to change or maybe even save their life. So, this isn't about you anymore. Be brave and share that story.
I love that. Where can they people find this volume 6, all of your books, Brave Healer? How can they connect with you?
Oh my gosh, you can come visit at bravehealer.com and you can find me on LinkedIn, Laura DeFranco on LinkedIn. I've got Brave Healer Productions there as well. Come connect. You can send me a message. You can get some information about some of our programs. Talk to me about your book. Talk to our publishing team. I would be so grateful and honored to help you bring your story into the world. It's why I was born.
It is, and we feel it, and I am grateful for it. Thank you for 10 years of bravery, for giving voices for healers, for building communities that matter, and for your vision and leadership and badassery.
Thank you so
Thank,
much, Sherry.
thank you.